Hey thinkers, and welcome back to Future Mind, the place where we not only explore tomorrow, but strive to truly understand it today.
Great to be here.
We're about to dive deep into a question that might, at first sound a little unsettling maybe?
Yeah.
Perhaps even provocative.
Oh, yeah.
But for many, it also sparks a flicker of, well, profound curiosity. What if social media, as we know it, simply vanished?
Vanished, like gone.
Imagine waking up tomorrow to a world where Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, all of it had just ceased to exist.
Yeah.
Gone overnight.
Wow. That's quite a thought experiment.
Would our lives descend into chaos, or would something fundamentally new, something perhaps even better, finally begin to emerge? It's a truly powerful thought, isn't it?
It really is. It makes you stop and think.
For the vast majority of us, let's be absolutely honest, social media isn't merely a collection of applications on our phone.
No, not at all. It's way more integrated than that.
It has intricately woven itself into the very fabric of our daily existence. It's our primary conduit for communication, a dynamic pipeline for discovering the latest trends.
Landing jobs, even.
Exactly. And for an ever-growing number, it's the bedrock upon which careers are built, businesses thrive, and even powerful social and political movements are galvanized.
Absolutely. It's huge.
The thought of this entire digital ecosystem, this ubiquitous web of connection and commerce suddenly evaporating. It's a scenario that demands serious exploration.
Definitely.
So our mission today in this extensive deep dive is to meticulously unpack the full spectrum of consequences, ranging from the immediate jarring disruptions
Which will be significant.
to the potentially transformative long-term shifts that such an unprecedented event would trigger. And critically, we'll strive to illuminate why the profound power to redefine our individual relationship with this digital landscape, even right now, resides squarely within your own hands.
That's the key part, isn't it? Agency. Control.
Precisely. So to truly grasp the implications of such an event, we first need to understand the invisible architecture that governs our current digital lives.
Right. Where do we start?
Our journey begins by examining how these platforms are not just passively used, but are in fact meticulously engineered to subtly yet profoundly rewire our brains.
Engineered. That's the word.
Think about the effortless, almost magnetic pull of scrolling through your TikTok or Instagram feed. That immediate, near instantaneous engagement, that smooth, continuous flow of content.
Yeah, it feels natural, almost too natural.
It feels natural, almost intuitive, doesn't it? But here's the crucial insight. This ease isn't some happy accident.
No, it's very much by design.
It's a result of a meticulously engineered psychological phenomenon, a masterclass in behavioral design. These platforms employ constant, algorithm-driven content delivery.
Feeding you exactly what it thinks you want to see next.
It's essentially conditioning your brain for rapid, almost ceaseless, quick bursts of information and novelty. This relentless high-frequency stimulation doesn't just entertain. It systematically diminishes your capacity for sustained attention.
It really does chip away at it, doesn't it?
Over time, it makes it increasingly challenging to engage deeply with long-form information, whether that's a dense academic lecture, a captivating novel, or even
just a deep, meaningful conversation that requires sustained focus.
Exactly. It's a subtle erosion of a fundamental cognitive skill.
And what's truly illuminating here is just how deeply rooted this engineering is within our own intrinsic biology and cognitive processes.
Okay, tell us more about that.
At the absolute heart of this engineered habit loop, this almost insatiable craving for the next quick burst of digital stimulus, lies dopamine.
Dopamine. The usual suspects.
Well, yes, but it's how it's used. This isn't just some abstract chemical, it's a remarkably powerful neurotransmitter, utterly essential for our motivation, our learning, and our experience of satisfaction.
Right. It drives us.
In a balanced context, dopamine drives us to pursue natural rewards, to learn, achieve goals. However, social media apps have become incredibly adept at exploiting this system through a mechanism known as intermittent reinforcement.
Intermittent reinforcement, like gambling.
Exactly like gambling. Consider the experience. When you receive an unpredictable reward, perhaps an unexpected like on a post you'd almost forgotten about.
Or a comment pops up out of the blue.
Precisely. Or a novel comment from someone you hadn't anticipated hearing from. This triggers a significantly stronger, more potent, and frankly more addictive dopamine release than if those rewards were entirely predictable.
So the unpredictability is key.
It's absolutely key. Your brain, in essence, becomes wired to perpetually chase that elusive, unexpected hit, creating a powerful feedback loop.
constantly seeking the next little hit.
This creates what neuroscientists and psychologists frequently describe as an unrelenting dopamine cycle. It's a perpetual feedback loop of seeking, obtaining a brief, often fleeting hit, and then immediately being prompted to seek again.
It sounds exhausting just describing it.
It can be. This relentless, often unpredictable reinforcement makes it incredibly difficult to disengage. The urge to check just one more time becomes almost irresistible.
We've all felt that, I think.
And over extended periods, this pattern can lead to a condition termed reduced reward sensitivity.
Reduced reward sensitivity. What does that mean practically?
What this means, in practical terms, is that your brain, constantly stimulated by these high-intensity, rapid-fire dopamine surges from your digital devices, begins to perceive natural, real-world rewards.
Like watching a sunset or a good conversation.
Exactly. Like the profound beauty of a sunset, the quiet joy of a deep, unhurried conversation, or the satisfaction of achieving a long-term personal goal. It starts to see those as comparatively less pleasurable or engaging.
Wow. So real life starts to feel duller.
In a sense, yes. This measurable decrease in your ability to derive pleasure from natural stimuli is quite literally a hallmark observed in various forms of addiction.
That's concerning.
And the neuroscientific evidence provides compelling support for this. Functional MRI studies have specifically shown that excessive social media use activates the very same brain regions that exhibit heightened activity in gambling disorders and other substance use behaviors.
The same brain region.
The very same. More precisely, researchers have pinpointed increased activity in the nucleus accumbens, a key component of the brain's reward circuit.
Okay.
And crucially, altered connectivity patterns with the prefrontal cortex, which is vital for executive functions like impulse control, decision-making, and emotional regulation.
So it's affecting our ability to control ourselves and make good decisions.
That's what the evidence strongly suggests. It isn't just a casual similarity. It points towards a fundamental hijacking of our intrinsic motivation and decision-making systems, paralleling the neural signatures seen in well-established addictive disorders.
Hijacking is a strong word, but it sounds appropriate.
And this is particularly concerning for adolescents, whose prefrontal cortices are still undergoing critical development. We're potentially shaping their cognitive and emotional landscapes in ways that, frankly, we are only just beginning to comprehend.
That's a truly profound and, somewhat unsettling insight, isn't it? The idea that our brains are not just passively absorbing information, but are being actively reshaped.
It's an active process.
It compels you to reflect.
Yeah.
Have you ever found yourself caught in that relentless cycle, feeling almost magnetic compulsion to check your phone, even when you logically know there's no urgent need?
That little buzz in your pocket, or even the phantom buzz.
Exactly. Or perhaps you've noticed a subtle shift where activities you once genuinely enjoyed reading, nature walks, deep creative pursuits away from a screen, just don't quite deliver the same intensity of pleasure or sustained engagement anymore.
That reduced reward sensitivity we talked about.
It highlights a significant, almost imperceptible shift in how we experience pleasure, maintain focus, and even process our daily lives.
It really does.
So we've carefully dissected the neural architecture of engagement, revealing how these platforms are meticulously designed to captivate and condition our minds.
Wow.
But to truly understand why these systems are engineered with such precision, we need to follow the money.
Ah, yes. The economics of it all.
Because beneath all the endless scrolling, the tapping, and the sharing, there's a sophisticated economic engine running. And its most precious fuel is something far more ubiquitous than oil and increasingly scarce.
Let me guess. Our attention.
It's your attention. Our engagement, our very focus, has transformed into an incredibly valuable, indeed, a new form of currency.
The attention economy.
Precisely. This isn't a new idea, but its modern manifestation is unprecedented. The late economist Herbert A. Simon, decades ago in 1971, presciently coined the term attention economy.
Way ahead of his time.
He observed that a wealth of information creates a poverty of attention. While Simon was describing a world grappling with the nascent stages of information overload.
Which seems almost quaint now.
Right. The attention economy today, fueled by AI-driven personalization and hyperconnectivity, is far more aggressive and sophisticated than he could have possibly imagined.
It's optimized on a scale he couldn't have foreseen.
It's no longer just about information abundance. It's about a constant, optimized, and often overwhelming battle for every microsecond of your cognitive bandwidth.
Every single click, every second you linger on a post, it's tracked.
Which reveals, at its core, the ingenious, albeit often opaque, business model that underpins this attention economy.
Ingenious and maybe a little insidious.
Well, consider this. We readily accept that these companies provide us with free services, right? We rarely, if ever, pay a direct subscription fee for Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah, free in quotation marks.
Exactly. Yet in return for these seemingly gratis services, these platforms are not just leveraging our vast amounts of user data, but most critically, they are capturing and monetizing our attention.
Our eyeballs, essentially.
This attention is then meticulously aggregated, packaged, and sold to advertisers and marketers on what is in essence an attention-based marketplace.
A marketplace where our focus is the commodity.
This isn't just an abstract economic concept, it's a direct, measurable exchange. It means that within this prevailing model, you are fundamentally not the customer. You are unequivocally the product.
That's the line you hear a lot, and it's fundamentally true. If you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Your eyeballs, your scrolls, your clicks, your time spent, your engagement patterns, these are the commodities being bought and sold minute by minute, second by second in a vast global marketplace.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on capturing and selling our focus.
And if you're seeking a truly concrete, vivid example of this attention economy in action, one that has fundamentally reshaped entire industries and career paths,
You only need to look at influencers.
look no further than the meteoric rise of the social media influencer. This isn't just a niche profession. It's a new archetype of professional that, in its current form, barely existed a mere decade or two ago.
It's astonishing how quickly it emerged.
And influencers' intrinsic value isn't primarily derived from what tangible product they sell, but rather, it stems directly from their sophisticated ability to capture, cultivate, and most importantly, sustain the attention of a specific, targeted audience.
Attention is their currency.
Their entire business model is a testament to the power of attention, meticulously built upon strategies like the continuous creation of compelling, attention-grabbing content.
Whether that's stunning visuals, sharp commentary, personal stories.
Deeply engaging storytelling,
Yeah.
or ephemeral viral trends. They expertly diversify their revenue streams, moving beyond direct ad revenue to encompass lucrative sponsorships, strategic brand deals,
Merch, affiliate links, courses.
and even leveraging the inherent power of user-generated content to foster a profound sense of community, trust, and perceived authenticity around their personal brand.
That authenticity piece is huge, even if it's sometimes manufactured.
This entire phenomenon vividly underscores how, in today's digitalized world, social capital, influence, and financial capital have become inextricably linked, interwoven in a complex, dynamic dance.
The more attention you command, the more influence, the more potential income.
The more attention you can command, the greater your capacity for influence. And more often than not, the more financial capital you can accrue. It is unequivocally a powerful and undeniable demonstration of how our most finite resource, our focus, has been thoroughly commoditized.
Absolutely. It's the attention economy personified.
So this prompts a critical reflection for all of us. How often do you consciously, deliberately acknowledge that you are effectively paying with your attention?
Probably not often enough. We just scroll.
What are the true implications of this pervasive transaction for your personal data, for the inherent value of your finite time, and for the myriad choices that are increasingly being made on your behalf by complex, often opaque algorithms?
It's a lot to unpack. The algorithms deciding what you see, what you think, even what you buy.
It's a pretty sobering thought when you begin to connect these seemingly disparate dots, realizing the profound implications for your autonomy and well-being.
Yeah, sobering is the right word. Which brings us to a crucial, often overlooked aspect of this system. What are the deeper hidden costs of living within such a meticulously engineered attention economy?
The hidden costs.
Yeah.
Beyond the sophisticated design of engagement and the economic frameworks, there's a significant and increasingly well-documented psychological and emotional toll.
Right, the mental health side.
The negative outcomes associated with heavy social media use are, unfortunately, no longer speculative. They are consistently found across numerous studies. Researchers have robustly linked excessive engagement to a concerning spectrum of mental health issues,
Like what specifically?
including elevated levels of anxiety, clinical depression, and a heightened rather than diminished sense of loneliness.
Loneliness. But isn't it supposed to connect us? That's the paradox. What's vital to understand here is that the problem extends far beyond the technology itself. It delves into the profound psychological mechanisms that these platforms expertly amplify within us.
Mechanisms like comparison.
Exactly. And here's where this discussion becomes deeply relatable for so many of us, especially amongst younger generations. We are all almost constantly exposed to a meticulously curated feed of perfect lives.
The highlight reel.
Every sun-drenched photo is meticulously filtered. Every professional achievement is strategically highlighted. Every vacation appears utterly idyllic. Every personal milestone celebrated with fanfare.
It's relentless.
This constant, often subliminal exposure creates an illusion of perfection that, even if we intellectually understand it's not entirely real,
We know it's curated, but
it still insidiously fuels pervasive feelings of inadequacy, diminished self-worth, and that insidious nagging sensation of imposter syndrome. We are perpetually comparing our own messy, unedited, behind-the-scenes realities to everyone else's carefully constructed highlight reels.
that comparison trap is so easy to fall into.
And this phenomenon is particularly, almost devastatingly damaging for adolescents who are already navigating the incredibly complex and often tumultuous journey of identity formation and self-discovery.
Yeah, that must be incredibly tough during those formative years.
A stark survey, for instance, illuminated this, revealing that teenagers now spend an average of 3.5 hours per day actively engaged on social media.
3.5 hours. Wow.
And here's the truly alarming kicker. Research has consistently shown that children and adolescents who spend more than 3 hours a day on these platforms face double the risk of experiencing significant mental health problems, including depression and anxiety.
Double the risk. That's significant.
It creates a truly vicious cycle. The more you engage with this meticulously curated world of digital highlights, the more your own authentic, evolving life can feel inherently not enough, fostering a perpetual state of comparison and dissatisfaction.
So the platform designed to connect makes you feel worse about your own life.
Often, yes. And if we connect this to the broader psychological landscape, it becomes unequivocally clear that the relationship between intensive social media use and an individual's mental well-being is often intricately bidirectional.
Bidirectional. Mean.
It's rarely a simple one-way cause and effect street. Many individuals might initially gravitate towards social media as a form of escape, or even as a perceived coping mechanism.
If they're already feeling down or lonely.
Exactly. Particularly if they are already grappling with pre-existing conditions such as anxiety, chronic loneliness, or depression, it can offer a seemingly accessible avenue to feel connected, to alleviate a sense of isolation.
Okay, that makes sense.
However, the paradox lies in the very nature of the experience. The incessant pressure of constant comparison, the relentless, often exhausting pursuit of external validation through likes, shares, and comments,
Chafing those likes.
and the pervasive exposure to that curated, unattainable perfection can, paradoxically, significantly exacerbate and deepen their existing mental health struggles.
So the solution actually makes the problem worse.
In many cases, yes. It's a powerful and often insidious feedback loop that can inadvertently drag individuals further into the very issues they were initially attempting to mitigate or escape from. This raises an incredibly important question for us to ponder. Are we genuinely seeking profound connection? Or are we, perhaps unwittingly, feeding a self-perpetuating cycle of self-doubt, anxiety, and ultimate disillusionment?
That's an absolutely critical distinction to make, and it forces a moment of genuine introspection. After you've spent time scrolling through your feeds, honestly, deeply ask yourself, does that experience truly leave you feeling genuinely uplifted, genuinely inspired, and genuinely more connected?
Or does it leave you feeling kind of drained?
Or, more often than not, do you find yourself feeling subtly drained, subtly inadequate, perhaps even more alone than when you started?
Yeah.
It's a vital question for us to be profoundly honest with ourselves about.
Absolutely.
Because those subtle emotional shifts accumulate over time, shaping our inner landscape in ways we might not fully recognize.
Yeah.
So we've systematically explored the invisible chains that bind us, delved into the economics of our attention, and confronted the undeniable psychological costs. Now, let's engage in a truly radical thought experiment.
Okay, I'm ready. The great unplugging.
Let's dare to imagine the great unplugging. What if, indeed, all of it, every platform, every feed, every notification, simply vanished?
Poof, gone.
In the immediate aftermath, let's be entirely realistic. The loss of these platforms would not just be jarring, it would be nothing short of absolute pandemonium.
Oh, absolutely. Chaos.
Can you truly envision the chaos? Overnight, millions of content creators, influencers, digital artists, and entrepreneurs would find their entire livelihoods, their carefully constructed careers, severed.
Their income streams just gone instantly.
Brands, accustomed to hyper-targeted advertising and instant customer feedback, would scramble in a desperate attempt to reestablish new, unfamiliar avenues to reach their audiences.
Back to basics. TV ads, billboards. It would be a scramble.
Billions of people would suddenly be forced to confront a profound void, having to painstakingly rediscover and relearn how to connect with each other, how to inform themselves, and how to simply exist.
Without that digital intermediary.
Without the omnipresent digital intermediary that has become so intertwined with our very identities,
Right.
it would be a monumental disruption, an unprecedented foundational tremor across every sector of society.
Yeah, a real earthquake.
Forcing a profound, almost chaotic reevaluation of how we interact, how we consume, and even how we define ourselves.
While the initial shockwaves would undoubtedly be immense, truly shaking the foundations of our digitally dependent society,
You think there's an upside?
it's in the long-term ripple effects, once that initial dust begins to settle and new patterns emerge, that the truly profound transformation lies. This isn't just about what we lose, it's about what we might profoundly reclaim.
Reclaim. I like that.
About the unexpected, almost miraculous silver linings that would emerge from such a great unplugging. Imagine a world where we universally reclaim our most precious finite resources, our time, and critically, our capacity for sustained focus.
Our focus. Back to attention.
Consider this truly alarming statistic. The average human attention span has plummeted from a modest 12 seconds in the year 2000
seconds.
to a mere 8 seconds today. A figure now demonstrably less than that of a goldfish, which clocks in at 9 seconds.
Less than a goldfish. Seriously. That's great.
It's a stark figure. This precipitous decline is a direct, measurable consequence of what researchers succinctly term time confetti.
Time confetti. Like, our time is just shredded.
Exactly. The constant, relentless fragmentation of our days by an unending barrage of digital distractions, notifications, and the habitual quick checks that punctuate our every waking moment.
Checking the phone every few minutes.
That's the confetti. The profound absence of social media in this reimagined world would, in an almost revolutionary way, compel us to rediscover the lost art of boredom.
The lost art of boredom. I like the sound of that. It sounds peaceful.
And this isn't merely about having nothing to do. Boredom, in its truest sense, is a crucial, often underestimated catalyst for genuine creativity, for profound self-reflection, and for deep, unhurried emotional processing.
So boredom is actually productive.
Highly productive, neurologically speaking. When your mind isn't constantly force-fed external stimuli, it finally gains the vital space to wander freely, to connect seemingly disparate ideas in novel ways, and to spontaneously generate innovative solutions to both personal and collective challenges.
Giving our brains room to breathe, basically.
Precisely. This newfound uninterrupted time, this invaluable freedom from the relentless demands of digital engagement, would be an extraordinary gift. It would allow us to consistently engage in what author Cal Newport defines as deep work.
Deep work. I've heard that term.
It's a form of distraction-free concentration that permits us to produce high-value, high-quality output. This rare and increasingly valuable ability to focus intently without interruption for extended periods is becoming an almost artisanal skill in today's hyper-connected economy.
So unplugging could actually make us more valuable in the workforce.
Potentially, yes. Imagine the sheer volume of high-quality work, the depth of creative insight, the complexity of problems you could solve with truly uninterrupted thought.
It's compelling.
Consider the hypothetical resurgence of local community engagement as people are driven to connect physically, organizing events, joining clubs, patronizing local businesses.
Things we used to do more before everything went online.
Exactly,
Yeah.
in ways previously supplanted by online interactions. We might see a renaissance in hobbies, crafts, and skills that require sustained attention, from intricate woodworking to learning a musical instrument.
That sounds nice, actually. More tangible.
Of course, it's vital to acknowledge that such a sudden unplugging would also present significant challenges.
Like what?
How would global coordination for disaster relief evolve? Would grassroots movements, which have leveraged social media for rapid mobilization, find alternative, equally effective avenues for organizing? These are complex quorums.
Right, it's not all sunshine and roses.
No, definitely not. But the potential for positive transformation is immense.
That idea of reclaiming the lost art of boredom truly resonates with me, offering a profound sense of liberation. And it leads us perfectly into considering how such a shift might enable us to live more authentically, more genuinely ourselves.
Authenticity, that's a big one.
Without the incessant pressure to meticulously curate an impeccable online persona, to perpetually perform for an invisible, judgmental audience.
That digital performance.
That deep-seated exhaustion we've come to understand as misalignment burnout could finally begin to heal.
Misalignment burnout. Explain that a bit more.
As is gaining traction in organizational psychology, this isn't merely the exhaustion that stems from working too hard. It's a chronic state of emotional and mental depletion that arises from a persistent, often subtle discrepancy between one's internal values, deeply held beliefs, and authentic self.
Who you really are inside.
Versus the external persona or actions consistently required by the relentless demands of social platforms. It's the profound weariness that comes from perpetually performing a version of life that isn't truly intrinsically yours.
Living out of sync with your values.
Exactly. Often leading to a subtle but pervasive sense of inauthenticity and spiritual fatigue, impacting everything from your decision-making processes to your most intimate interpersonal relationships.
That sounds incredibly draining.
In the absence of constant comparison, that relentless measuring of ourselves against others' meticulously crafted highlight reels, we would finally be empowered to redefine our fundamental sense of self-worth.
Based on internal metrics, not external ones.
We could at last grounded in what we genuinely believe in and deeply value, rather than in the ephemeral, often fleeting pursuit of external validation.
Finding worth from within.
So I challenge you, our listener, to engage in a moment of profound self-reflection. What would you embark upon creating? What latent talents, what unexplored facets, what profound insights would you genuinely discover about yourself if you possessed truly uninterrupted time?
Big questions.
If you were living a life authentically free from the insidious pressures of external validation, what kind of you, unfettered by digital performance, would finally emerge?
What would you do with that reclaimed time and mental space?
Imagine the stories you'd tell, the skills you'd hone, the relationships you'd deepen, all rooted in a genuine, unvarnished reality.
It's a powerful vision, but it's also important to reiterate with absolute clarity that social media in its fundamental essence is not an inherently malevolent force.
Right, it's not pure evil. It has its uses.
To be unequivocally clear, these platforms possess an immense, undeniable power to inspire, to connect us across vast geographical and cultural distances, to facilitate learning.
And create careers, as we mentioned.
And as we've already explored, even to create entirely new, legitimate careers and economic opportunities for millions globally. The pivotal insight here is not necessarily to demonize the technology itself, or to advocate for its complete eradication.
So it's not about quitting cold turkey for everyone.
Not necessarily. Rather, the key lies in a profound internal shift. Moving from a mindset of passive consumption, where we are largely at the mercy of algorithms feeding us content,
Just letting the feed wash over you.
to one of active, intentional, and deliberate control over our digital engagement. It's about consciously choosing to be the discerning driver of your digital life,
Right.
rather than merely a passenger swept along by its currents.
Taking the wheel back.
Precisely.
Absolutely. And in this evolving landscape, we are increasingly compelled to embrace what we might call a new financial literacy.
A new financial literacy. Interesting. How so?
But this isn't about managing traditional dollars and cents in a bank account. It's about learning, with conscious effort and strategic intent, to meticulously manage your attention.
Managing attention as a currency.
Because, as our deep dive has meticulously illustrated, your attention is, without question, the most valuable currency you possess. It's a non-renewable resource that, once spent, is gone forever.
You don't get those minutes or hours back.
Where you deliberately direct that attention profoundly shapes your reality, determines your productivity, influences your emotional landscape, and ultimately defines your overall well-being.
It dictates the quality of your life, really.
It is a vital skill that demands conscious cultivation. But its dividends, in terms of personal fulfillment and cognitive clarity, far surpass anything a traditional financial portfolio could ever yield.
That's a powerful way to put it. The ROI on managing attention is huge.
Exactly.
And this transformative journey towards reclaiming your focus, towards mastering this crucial new financial literacy, fundamentally begins with heightened awareness.
Just noticing where your attention goes.
And it is meticulously built upon a robust foundation of deliberate science-backed habits. For some individuals, this might entail embarking on a short-term, yet profoundly impactful digital detox.
taking a complete break.
A structured period of completely disconnecting from all digital platforms. The purpose of such a detox is not merely to abstain, but to effectively recalibrate your brain's reward system.
That dopamine reset we talked about.
Essentially resetting your dopamine sensitivity and allowing your neural pathways to return to a more natural baseline. For others, the path might involve simpler, more seamlessly integrated practices within their daily lives.
Smaller steps.
Such as engaging in what we call mindful consumption, proactively turning off all non-essential notifications that incessantly interrupt your focus.
Those constant pings and buzzes.
Or diligently scheduling dedicated blocks of time for deep work. That uninterrupted, high-concentration effort that we discussed is being so critical for high-value output.
Protecting your focus time.
It's about systematically constructing intentional protective walls around your precious attention, ensuring it is invested, not merely spent.
Invested, not spent. I like that.
Yeah.
And as you embark, or perhaps continue on this incredibly vital journey, we want to leave you with some truly provocative questions for self-reflection.
Okay, let's hear them.
These aren't simple queries. They are profound challenges that cut right to the core of everything we've meticulously discussed today. The future, truly, belongs to those who possess the courage, the insight, and the profound self-awareness to consistently ask, who am I authentically when I'm offline? Who am I without the screen?
And perhaps even more critically, in this age of pervasive distraction, is this, whatever this happens to be, truly the best, most meaningful use of my finite and incredibly valuable attention right now?
That's a question we should probably ask ourselves multiple times a day.
Because ultimately, in this relentlessly competitive attention economy, the strongest person is not the one who boasts the most followers, nor the one with the loudest online voice.
It's not about the external metrics,
but rather the one who possesses the sovereign power to choose where their attention consciously and deliberately goes.
Choice, intention, control. We empower you with the insights from this deep dive to understand the underlying science, to purposefully take back control, and to consciously choose to be a creator of your own narrative, not merely a product in someone else's.
Be the creator, not the commodity.
To meticulously build a life that isn't just active or merely engaged, but one that is profoundly, intrinsically meaningful and deeply aligned with your true self.
That alignment piece is crucial.
We wholeheartedly encourage you to identify just one small yet significant intentional step you can commit to taking right after listening to this deep dive.
Just one small thing, turn off some notifications, schedule 30 minutes of focus time.
Exactly, something manageable but deliberate.
So, as we gently step back from this expansive deep dive, let's take a moment to briefly synthesize the core insights we've uncovered together.
Let's recap.
We've meticulously explored the intricately engineered, often addictive nature of social media platforms, revealing how they subtly, yet profoundly rewire our brains.
The dopamine loops, the intermittent reinforcement.
We've delved into the stark economic reality, where our precious attention has transcended its traditional role to become the ultimate, most coveted currency.
The attention economy, where we are the product.
And we've unflinchingly examined the very real and increasingly well-documented mental health toll exacted by constant comparison, the relentless pursuit of external validation, and the pervasive illusion of online perfection.
And anxiety, the depression, the loneliness.
But crucially, we've also dared to envision the truly transformative potential of a world where we reclaim our innate capacity for focus, our most valuable time, and our fundamental authenticity.
The silver linings of unplugging, the potential for deep work and real connection.
Remember, the profound power for this change, the conscious choice to engage intentionally, lies entirely and unequivocally within your hands.
It's up to us.
It is.
As we step back from this deep dive, consider this profound question. In a world constantly vying for every single sliver of your precious focus, what quiet, deliberate space will you intentionally carve out for your own true, unvarnished self to authentically emerge?
A powerful closing thought.
Thank you so much for joining us on Future Mind. We've genuinely loved exploring these crucial and highly relevant ideas with you today.
It's been fascinating. Until next time, keep thinking critically, keep questioning deeply, and above all, keep curating your most valuable, non-renewable asset, your attention. Goodbye for now.